Hey y'all, happy Monday. I'm back. It's been a mere, I don't know, 6 weeks or so-ish, I think. It's been a while anyway. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie. This is Phat Phlossing, a channel about cross stitch. Welcome back to the crazy, and man, oh man, is it a crazy, crazy world we're living in right now. Today is Monday, March 23rd, 2020. And as you all know, we're in the middle of the COVID crisis. And I'll talk a little bit more about that maybe at the end of this, but I think a lot of us have probably had it up to here with that. So if you don't want to hear it, you know, I'll put it at the end. Give you my 2 cents worth as a nurse. But in the meantime, we'll move on with other things. Quick life updates. Steve is okay. We are still pursuing. He's now seeing a total of 3, count them, 3 specialists regarding this mass/abscess in his right retroperitoneum. And the consensus is, yeah, no, nobody has an effing clue. He's had additional lab work sent off to the Mayo Clinic. Some of it is coming back abnormal, but not grossly so. He's had 1 repeat CT. He'll have another one probably in about 3 to 4 weeks. And we just seem to be in a grand holding pattern, which is driving me out of my tiny little mind because, you know, my background is in critical care and emergency nursing, and I'm a do it right now kind of person. I am probably the doctor's worst nightmare because, you know, I'm a grumpy old nurse, and I want to know what I want to know when I want to know it. But anyway, he is okay. Thank you all so much for getting in touch, whether it was, you know, a comment on my videos or emailing me or Instagramming me, or, you know, I've even had a couple of phone calls, and thank you all so much for checking on us. I've just been busy. I've got kittens here. It's springtime. My house looks like you could bale hay in it, or bale cotton actually, because we had a short, cooler-ish summer last summer. The cats put on a crap ton of winter coat. It's now spring, and they are blowing coat. It's fit to beat the band. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility at all that you're likely to hear cats yakking in the background, because the more fur there is, the more hairballs there are. Another lovely little side benefit of being a cat breeder. But anyway, what it all boils down to is we're doing good. Right before, or right when I did the last video, I think that was on a Friday, and Fairy had her kittens the following Sunday, I believe. They came on February 16th anyway. So they turned 5 weeks old yesterday. They are in the playpen. They're cutest little bugs. She had 3, and they are all doing great, 2 boys and a girl. They haven't quite mastered the potty box, so they don't have the run of the kitten room yet. They're still in the playpen, but I expect them to get out of the playpen certainly by the end of this week, and they're doing great. And I will put a short video up on Instagram sometime this week of them. But thank you all for checking in on us and the kitties and everything. So that's my life update, short and sweet. And let's talk about some cross stitch, because I have actually gotten some stitching done. I'm sorry, I've got a hair that's attached to my glasses or something hanging down, driving me nuts. Okay, better now. I'm a little manic today, can you tell? I'm out of practice. Almost 6 weeks, and I don't know which way is up. But anyway, I do have some FFOs. The first of which is covered in cat hair, because it's been sitting on the floor in my office. This is, and I apologize for the glare, this is Fractor Flowers. Well, you're just going to get a good look at the whole house in that glare, I guess. And I'm sure that's, I guess, as good as we're going to get it. Fractor Flowers from La Di Da. This is Julie McConnell's conversion on 36 count Murky from Picture This Plus. I cannot share the conversion. This conversion belongs to Julie, but if you contact her, she's willing to give you the conversion as long as you purchase the threads from her. But I did get it framed, it's all sealed up, and I wrote on the back what it was there, and it's ready to hang. Hey, there it is without a glare. Have to get my crap scraped together and get it done. My other finish or one of my other finishes. This one's a biggie. This is Oh Beautiful from Shepherd's Bush. Bring it a little bit closer. The glare is terrible. I'm sorry. Let's see if I can find that other sweet spot. There we go. Can't really see the detail, but the glare isn't terrible. Anyway, this is Oh Beautiful from Shepherd's Bush. This was my 2018 New Year's Day start, and I finished it the first week of 2019. So it only took me a year to get it framed, but it is now framed. This is a frame I got at thrift. Both of these were thrift store frames, and I did get them framed up. And as you can see, this one also sealed up on the back. That's all I was waiting on was the paper. And it's ready to hang. I just need to, again, get off my tuchus and get it done. I don't know if you saw Prissy there behind me, where she's not supposed to be, because they're not supposed to be on the china hutch. But she is very round. She's due in about 10 to 14 days, 2-ish weeks. So I will have more babies coming shortly. Goody, it'll be time for me to start setting my alarm every hour again. Yeah, I'm excited. And this is, I'm going to show this just so I can get it over and done with. It's not quite completely finished. I still need to stuff it and sew up the bottom. This is Spring Frolic from Homespun Elegance. And I won this on Diana. It is Kismet on, I want to give away on her channel, and she sent this to me. And I stitched this 1/1, and I don't now remember. I believe this is 28 count, but it could be 25 count. It's Lugana. It's an even weave. But it's stitched 1/1 in none of the recommended colors. I made my bunny white instead of brown, and I just picked flosses out of my stash for it. But I'm very happy with the way he came out. He's made into a little pillow. I just need to stuff him and get him ready to put up on the shelf. So, and this was fabric I had in my stash, and since we're not going out and about, that's what I used. So I'll have this done in the next day or two. Where can I put it that a cat won't carry it off? Because they'd love that trim. Okay, I do have one other finish. Easter Parade from Blackbird Designs. I was, cutie. Stop. She's playing with stuff hanging on my hall tree. I was lucky enough to purchase a pattern of this pattern when they did their re-release of it. And this will be a giveaway fairly soon. Not today, but fairly soon. Where to put it? On a way too large piece of 36 count. And I don't remember what this is. I kind of think it's Tycho, but I'm not positive. I think it's Tycho from Picture This Plus. Stitched 1/2 on a 36 count. I can get some of the wrinkles out. I obviously have not ironed it yet. There he is. These are charted as cross stitches, and I did elect to make the little flower buds French knots. So I did lots and lots of French knots. And then you can see those are eyelet stitches there in the bunny. This is, again, none of the call fors. I just picked and chose, you know, stuff that I had in my stash. I've gotten more and more into doing that because I had lots of stash, and it just makes sense to use what I've got instead of buying a whole bunch more. And I'm trying to be more responsible on my spending. But I'm really happy with this. I will get him when I sit back down at the sewing machine, probably tomorrow. Hopefully, and I'll tell you why I might not. But I will get this done, and I think I'm going to make a flat fold out of it. But this, and finish up that little pillow, and then I'll have a couple of Easter things to put up. Y'all, excuse me 1 second. Okay, and I know I'm going fast, y'all, but Steve will be off work and home in about 45 minutes, and I'd like to be done by then. Okay, next. Whips. I think I had 2 whips that I worked on. This is an Humble Heart from Shepherd's Bush. And I don't remember for sure, but I think I won this as a giveaway too from Priscilla and Chelsea, I think. You know, it's been long enough for me to blink and I just don't remember. But I am almost done with this. I need to do the outside border and the beads and I will be done with that. Oh, and I've got like these little corner motifs to finish. But almost. Didn't make it for Valentine's Day, so I'm not in any hurry. But that will be done sooner rather than later, I think. This is on a 32 count. I don't remember the name of it. It's whatever the kitted linen was with the kitted silks. And again, that is an Humble Heart from Shepherd's Bush. But we'll get that knocked out before too much longer because really there's hopefully not that much left of that. Although the whole outer border is specialty stitches of some kind. I don't remember what now. So we'll see. And the other thing that I worked on that was a whip. This is the Sal that's going on, hosted by Michelle Rudy. This is Harriette Elizabeth Coe from Brenda Gervais, I think. Yes, Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. It's a very pretty sampler. Look at these colors. And then realize that I've again gone stash diving and none of the recommended colors. I'm just doing my own thing on it, which is kind of my theme lately. But I did have made some progress. I think the last time you saw this, and this is definitely 36 count Tyco. And every time my A-box hears that name, she thinks I'm talking to her. And as usual, I didn't start it centered because, you know, that would be logical, and I don't do that. And I think the last time y'all saw it, I had maybe half of this top border done and maybe a couple of the letters, I think. I don't remember a whole lot more anymore. The alphabets are eyelets. This row is supposed to be eyelet stitches. I don't know if you can tell, if it will focus. That mine are not eyelet stitches. They are Smyrna crosses because I have decided that I have a finite number of eyelet stitches in me and I'm going to spin them on that alphabet. And so these are just going to be Smyrna crosses here. But I am enjoying this. It's really pretty. I have changed the colors considerably to just what I pulled from my stash. They're almost all color and cottons. I think there may be one or two Victorian mottos in there. And I'm probably half-ish the way around on the border. I just don't have enough stick-to-itiveness to just do the entire border, which would be smarter in case I'm off, but I just ain't got what it takes for that, is what it boils down to. So anyway, that's where I am on Harriette. You can follow that Sal. It's Harriette Elizabeth Coe Sal on Instagram. Okay, what else? And I think this was a whip too. Oh yeah, this is my waiting room project. Spring Fling from Brenda Gervais with I Needle and Thread, also known as a big old white rabbit. I love it. I think he's so pretty. I decided when I was ready to start this that I wanted to do it on a 32 count because that big old white rabbit is just tailor-made for sitting and filling in stitches when, you know, you don't have a whole lot of attention to pay to something. But the only pink fabric, and I had bought pink fabric for this. I had bought whatever the recommended was. And it was 36 count, and I didn't want to go buy something else. So I had this purple, which I don't remember what it is. I don't remember. I'd have to look back at an older video. But anyway, I started it on this pinkish purple, and there's where I am on my rabbit. I've about doubled the amount of fill-in that I had previously down there at the bottom. Like I said, he makes a great waiting room project because it's just lines and lines and lines and lines and lines and more lines of white stitching. And I am doing him 1/2. This is a 32 count. The coverage is not particularly dense, but that doesn't bother me. From back here, it looks fine. So I think he's going to, I got lots of doctor visits for that one. And again, mostly Victorian motto sampler shop threads. So I just pulled from my stash for him. He will not be done by this Easter. There are lots of stitches in that rabbit. I don't know how many, but it's a lot. When I did my whip parade back in, oops, I'll have my flosses are off my ring here. When I did my whip parade back in, I think it was January, I had pulled this out and said, I don't know if I'm going to keep going on it. It's not ringing my chime, yada, yada, yada. Well, when I got it out and looked at it again, I decided, maybe it did ring my chime and I was going to keep going. This is Sing a Song of Seasons from Blackbird Designs. It's a very pretty design. It's number 3, I think, number 5 in the Loose Feathers collection. And I believe it is still available, although I'm not positive about that. This was a Mania start for me, 2018. And I have accomplished, I'm nowhere near done, but I've made progress lately. I did pull it back out and fall back in love with it, and I'm very happy with it. I probably had half of the urn done, and I have finished most of the urn and started, put the bird in and started on the border and stuff. So I'm very happy with where that is. Look, more eyelets. I have done a crap ton of eyelets lately. Lots of eyelets. And this is 1/2 on 36 count, something or other. Picture this plus Wren with, I believe, most of, I've got a couple of DMCs here, but most of them are the recommended flosses for this. So I think I will get a finish on that sooner rather than later. Hopefully not 2 years from now. I would like to have it done, just so I could say I did, I'd like to have it done before Mania. And I haven't really decided exactly what I'm going to do for Mania this year. I'm probably going to do a modified Mania like I did last year. I think last year I did 5 or 6 starts. And I think I'm going to do the same thing this year. That was a good number for me. It didn't make me feel like I wasn't making any progress. But it gave me lots of, new variety to choose from to stitch. The corollary to that, however, is, I guess because I've been a little stressed, I've kind of been in a, well, let's just start all the things kind of mood. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I might or might not have anything new left to start. Not true. I have enough stash to start something new for probably the next 10 years, starting something once a day. But since I have been on a new start binge, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to get some fur off my stuff here. About 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, I started Joyful Summer from Country Cottage Needleworks. I have seen several, I've had this in my stash, and I've seen several people on Instagram stitching this, and Cheryl McKinney has been working on one. And y'all, these are my colors. Bright, cheerful, just so pretty. It was a perfect spring. It says Joyful Summer, but I think it's the perfect spring stitch. And again, none of the call fors. Well, I might have one. Nope, not even one. They're about half and half color and cotton and Victorian motto. And this is 36 count pale blue from XQ Designs. And I'm not real far from finishing this one. This one's been a lot of fun to stitch on. It's an easy stitch. I mean, there is some counting, but it is not, once you get that main vine done and then you can use it to place everything else, it really, it's been a pretty easy stitch. and I'm very happy with how, I keep forgetting to put stuff on this. I've been very happy with how it's turning out. It's so bright. Those colors just sing to me. I think it's really pretty. And this is the one that's been holding my attention the most lately, so it's gotten the most work out of me. So, very happy with that. And sorry, I have to take the time to put everything back in its bag, or my brain's not smart enough to sort it all out again afterwards if I don't. And then last Saturday, not a couple of days ago, but like 9 days ago, Caroline, off the grid, said, you know, everybody's stressed, have a self-care start. And I thought, okay, I can do that. So I went to my stash, and I had been wanting to get this stitch. This is Berry Cottage from Plum Street. And it's got my 2 favorite fruits on it. Well, it has strawberries on it, and then I personally think this looks a lot like watermelon rind instead of hills, but so I like to think it's strawberries and watermelon. Regardless, it's very cute, and y'all know I love sheep. It's got sheep on it. So I went to my stash and again pulled out I don't remember what linen this is. Big surprise. But here's where I am. And I think it's going to be really cute. It's got no eyelet stitches on it. Yay! I'm a little eyeleted out right now. I like specialty stitches, but enough is enough. So anyway, I'm very happy with where this is. I have changed. Like I said, I'm not... There may be like 2 of the call fors. Like the Tennessee Red Clay, I think is call for. And I think maybe the Honey Bunny from Classic Colorworks is call for. And the Muddy Puddle is called for. So I think I've got 3 or 4 out of like a dozen called for. And I have added a couple of other colors in where I wanted to. But again, very happy with how that's looking. I think it's very cute. So that's what I have been stitching on for the last 5 or 6 weeks, however long it's been. The other thing I've been doing, well, before we talk about that, let's go through a little bit of haul. The only haul I have, because I've been unusually good for me, this is my Silks of the Month from Silks for You. $20 for 5 10-meter skeins of silk, including postage from Australia, and they're just gorgeous. So that's the only haul I have. I have several, like 3 or 4 market releases ordered that Anne picked up for me, but I kept thinking I was going to get to Little Rock, and then just with one thing and another, I didn't. And now it doesn't look like any of us are going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So she'll be mailing those to me, I think, probably this week. Except I watched too much FlossTube and saw a couple other things I think that I absolutely have to have, including a couple of those Erica Michaels strawberries. So I have to add to my order before she mails it to me. I think that's, oh, and then I've got some Stitchy Kindness to show. And this is cool Stitchy Kindness because it's going to be Stitchy Kindness for y'all. Melody Bagwell contacted me, I guess last week, and said that she had, this is a bright needle pattern called Esmeralda's House. And it's really, really cute. Like a little Halloween house, I think. It's very cute. Anyway, she said she had completed this and she wanted to pass the pattern along. So the pattern is in used condition, but it is still quite legible. There's no reason you should not be able to stitch from it. And she also included leftovers, what she had left over of the floss. So you get some of the call for colors. So that's going to be a giveaway, not today, but in the near future. And then she also sent me this one, In Friendship, from Plum Street Samplers. And I'm going to also pass this along to you guys. So thank you so much, Melody. I know everybody will really appreciate your generosity. Thank you so much for sending those. And while we're talking about giveaway stuff, before I forget, this is Harvest Time from Chessie and me. I finished this, I don't know, a couple months ago. And this was a giveaway. I don't remember if it was last video or video before, but the winner that I pulled for this via random comment generator was Kelly Hale. And Kelly, if I've heard from you, I can't find it. So you have got until this Friday, which is 27th, I think. Yeah, Friday, March 27th, to contact me. If I don't hear from you by then, I'm going to redraw another name. So, okay. I'll look at my list because I'm really scattered. All right, the other thing I've been doing before we get to the new giveaways is sewing a lot. This is a good time for me to be sewing because my craft room is at the far end of my house. Now, my house is not huge. It's about 1,550 square feet. But my craft room, which is the smallest of the bedrooms, is on the far side of the house from where my air conditioner is. And so in the winter, it's colder. In the summer, it's quite warm in there. And now that the temperatures are fairly moderate, like today's a little cooler, it's 50-ish outside, but we're supposed to be up in the 80s by the end of the week. So while it's fairly temperate, right now is a good time for me to be sewing. So I have been doing some sewing. And I've been making project bags. This one's not done, but it's the ones I was working on Friday before I called it quits. Look, it's mason jars. Cool, huh? They'll be topped with this stripe and lined with the green. And I'm not done with them. These will be at the top of the pile tomorrow for working on. But I did get quite a few others done. Out of season, but a fall bag. Super cute kitties. This is an Alexander Henry fabric. Don't Give Up on Love, I believe is the name of it. It kind of looks like classic tattoo or pinup motifs. This is another Alexander Henry. It's called Swingers, and it's all women's baseball. It's very cute. And then these, I just thought this material was adorable. It's classic Singer, or Singer, I think. Anyway, classic patterns from whichever. Simplicity, that's what I wanted to say. Anyway, so I've been making project bags. All of these are still available. They are $35, including domestic U.S. shipping. I will ship to other countries, but I will charge you actual postage. So if you are interested in one of these bags, and there are two of the pattern ones, and the lining is the same as this header. I have one of these left, and I believe I have enough fabric to make one, maybe two more of the Swingers bags. And again, the lining is the same blue. I have enough fabric to make one more of this Alexander Henry, the classic pinup tattoo girls. I may or may not have any more of the cat fabric, I don't remember. And I definitely have enough to make a couple more of the fall ones. And I believe I have enough to make a total of 3 of the mason jars. So if you are interested in a project bag, please email me, lesliedhurley@gmail.com. It'll be in the drop down below. I typically post them on Instagram when they're available, but please feel free to email me, and I will we'll conversate, and I'll send you a PayPal address or PayPal invoice if you're interested. But anyway, that's the other thing I've been doing, is sewing quite a bit. And I've got the bug right now, so I'm probably going to make some more. So if you see one you like, let me know. This is what I made. This is last year or year before last, I don't remember now. JJ, my mother-in-law, embroidered, who has one of those really fancy embroidery machines that above my head. Anyway, she did a bunch of these panels embroidered with something. This one says bzzz for the bees. So This one's a giveaway. This one, I want you to know, is not perfectly square. It's somewhat out of square. And it is, or no, this isn't the one that's so badly out of square. But anyway, it's very crinkly. I need to get heavier interfacing for her to use before she embroiders anymore. But this is one of this week's giveaways. And all you have to say is buzz. Use the word buzz, B-U-Z-Z, somewhere in your comment. Be a subscriber, because I do check to see if you're subscribed. Like this video, comment below, and use the word buzz. I'd like the buzz bag. What's all the buzz about? Just the word buzz, B-U-Z-Z. The other giveaway from this week, I'm going to pass this along. This is the pattern that Diana was kind enough to send to me. Spring Frolic from Homespun, Elegance. It's a little bunny. It's the one that, this one. Now, I stitched him 1/1 on, I think this is a 28 count. It could be a 25, but for reference, there's my hand. You know, he's pretty small, 1/1, but he's only 39 by 60, even doing it 1/1, and it takes me much longer to stitch 1/1 than it does 1/2, because I use the sewing method on almost everything I do, and so I can do the in and out in one motion, whereas if I do 1/1, I have to poke and pull and poke and pull and poke and pull, so it takes me longer. But even then, he's a very quick, cute little stitch. So if you're interested in this one, I'd like the bunny, B-U-N-N-Y. So buzz or bunny. Again, like the video, be a subscriber, use the words buzz and or bunny in your comment, and I will draw these the next time I do a video, which hopefully will not be a month or more. I'd like to get back on an every 2-week schedule. Who knows? It's me. It could be anything. Okay, I think that's all. Is that all? Is that on my list? Oh no, the giveaway from last week, which I've been using as my board. Or not from last week, from the last video. This is, well, we're calling him Sewing Mouse because I don't speak or read Russian. This is a complete kit from mybobbin.com. Got everything in there. I believe it has the Ada. Let's see the Ada. And I'm pretty sure I filled the flosses in there too. But he's very, very cute. And I asked the same thing on my last video, that you like, subscribe, and then comment with the word mouse. And I did the random comment picker, and the winner for this one is Mary Polarecki. Mary, you win. I have commented on your comment. Please email me. My email will be in the drop down. Leslie, L-E-S-L-I-E-D, Hurley, H-U-R-L-E-Y, @gmail.com. Email me with your mailing address, and I will get this sent off to you. Is that it? I think that's it. I think I actually got it done. Who knew? It's possible. Okay, so if you're done with cross stitch, you're done with cross stitch. Thank you all very much for coming. Oh, and thank y'all all so much for all your comments and everything. I do read each and every one of them. I try to remember to go and put a little heart and like on them. I comment if I get a chance. I don't comment a whole lot anymore because there are so many, and I'm lazy. I'd rather spend my time doing other things, and I'm just busy. I don't know what I'm busy with all the time. I'm retired. It shouldn't be that much, but anyway, I do read every one of them, and I appreciate every one of them. Thank y'all so much for the comments. Okay, current event stuff. So if you're done with cross stitch, thank you so much for coming by to watch, and I hope I see you again soon. Very quickly, I will tell you, I retired after almost 23 years. That's not the, no, I don't drop that on the floor. Here's a very bad kitten who is sitting on top of my framed projects. This is Cutie. Q-U-T-I-E is her name, Cutie Pie. She's a lilac point. I kept her to replace her mama, Maddie. She's about 9-ish months old, 8 or 9 months old, something like that. She's very adorable, and I was really looking forward to showing her this year, but you know, the shows are all canceled. Anyway, I worked as an RN for almost 23 years, and I did the, sorry about the cattail, the overall majority of my time in either the ICU or the ER. And I am here to tell you this is not something to be screwing around with. Stay home if you can. Minimize your outside contact. Even just regular flu season overwhelms hospitals to some degree. I well remember crappy staffing ratios in the ICU and respiratory therapy hauling out older vents because there weren't enough of the new spiffy vents to go around. Just to patients who get vented post-surgery, post-accident, post-trauma, after heart attacks. Cutie, stop chewing on stuff. Anyway, there's, on any given day, may or may not be, I'm sorry, I have to swat the cat. Hold on. Stop. Sorry. There may or may not be enough vents. They're very commonly, you know, the staffing ratios, most ICUs are staffed 1 nurse to 2 patients. Some patients get one-on-one care. There were times, you know, you got 3 patients because that's just what was available. You know, there were no more nurses to go around. I can remember working in the ER and having to hold patients in the ER because there were no ICU beds available. So do not believe, do not take for granted that our first world U.S. medical system can deal with the current crisis at the level that we take as a given for us, because even without the current COVID crisis, that's not always the case. And we really do have to, and it's a kind of a silly phrase, but flatten the curve. We really do need to. We need to slow down the spread. So instead of getting all of these people in crisis at one time, the crisis is spread out over a longer period of time so the resources can be used more effectively. There's about 100 million people in the U.S. The infection rate for this is very high. Now, most people will not require care requiring ICUs and ventilators. But even if only 1% do, that's 1 million people. There aren't that many ICU beds in the U.S. There aren't that many ventilators in the U.S. We're talking more in the 100,000 range for both. Or actually, 100,000 range for ICU beds and probably 50 to 60,000 for ventilators. You need to take it seriously. The chances are excellent, although that word is not a good word for this. The chances are very high that you're going to know somebody who ends up in the hospital with COVID on a ventilator. The chances are high that you're going to know somebody who dies because of COVID. And we need to all do what we can do to minimize the risk so we don't put any more strain on those resources, because it is very likely to come down to a triage type situation. I worked, like I said, in the ER for years, and I worked as a pre-hospital provider also as a flight nurse, and I even did some time as a ground paramedic when I was wanting to get a job as a flight nurse. Triage is a word that's used a lot. Triage is used routinely in ERs to send the sickest patients to the front of the line. We're going to get to the point where we make decisions, and there's a whole thing that goes along with triage where in a mass casualty type event, people come in and they get a tag assigned to them, a toe tag basically. That's green if you're non-urgent and can wait, yellow if you're sort of urgent, red is critical, and black is non-salvageable. Maybe not dead, but non-salvageable. We are going to get to the point where those same decisions have to be made regarding critical care resources like physicians, nurses, and ventilators in the middle of this. So please stay home, take care, wash your hands, wear a mask, do whatever you can do. It's not a joke. It's unfortunately here to stay. And by the way, quit buying all the damn toilet paper. take what you need, get what you need, but don't, don't make it so nobody else can use those same resources. We're all in this together, and we will either swim together or we will sink separately. So I'll quit preaching. Hopefully y'all are all in the choir. But I hope to see you again soon. I hope that when I do see you again, this crisis will be a, faint and sad memory. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I hope it is. And it can't hurt to give it a little prayer either. So y'all enjoy your stitching. Thank you for coming to watch me again. I hope you hung out to the end, but if you didn't, I certainly understand. And God bless each and every one of us. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.